out why you decided which number was bigger or smaller. How did you get there? We have probably about a minute left. It's getting close to a minute left. I see most people are finished. One minute left. If your group is finished, since you have a minute left, you can discuss at like a level 1 volume why and compare to see if your answer is the same, why or why not. All right, 3 minutes are up. I think most of you guys are done. We've had time to discuss and think about our answers. I need all eyes tracking me right now. I'm going to call on you guys to give me the answers. And actually, before we go over the answers, I want you to take out your notebooks. Keep this out on your desk, but take out your notebooks and open it up to the table of contents. We have 15 seconds to do this. Take out your notebooks. Notebooks out. Because we're going to be taking notes while we go through this together. Gigi has taken her notebook out. Demarion has his notebook out. Demarion, I need your notebook. Frank's notebook is out. I need your notebook open to the table of contents. What's your guys' notebook?
They are the...
Which one?
Spider-Man? No, the other one. The comics.
Okay. We're going to borrow someone else's notebook. Alright, so before we go over it, we're going to write in our notes. First, we're going to open it up. Everyone at this point should have their notebook out and open to the table of contents. I know that we are in September, so it's going to be 9. And who can read the date for me on the board today? TJ, what is the date on the board?
It's the 12th.
It's the 12th. How do you know it's the 12th, though, based on what's written on the board?
Oh, because that's high, right?
What's, all right, I need voices off. This doesn't require TJ. Do you want to call on somebody to help you out?
Yeah.
Who are you calling a classmate to help you out?
I need a piece of paper. Tyrell.
No. Franklin? 12 times 12 is 144. But I want to know, what does that symbol mean? Eddie?
Number times the same number.
I think I agree with that. And Franklin, I heard you say it, but I need you to raise a hand. What is that symbol called? Square root. So, TJ, bringing it back to you. How do I know that it's September 12th today? TJ, bringing it back based on what Franklin said, what Tyrell said, what Eddie said. How do I know based on the date that it's September 12th? It's 12, and 12 multiplied by itself is 144, which is a square root. So today's 9/12, and my title, I need voices off. Right now, we've actually moved into note-taking, and note-taking looks like silent. It looks like raising your hand, unless I direct you otherwise. And there will be time to talk, so don't worry. So our notes today look like our title is.
So if you're currently talking, you have lunch detention. She made it very clear the expectation is level 0. Fix it. You will have time to talk during practice. This is not that time.
My next open page is going to be page 30. If that's not your page, it's okay. Just to make sure it matches whatever you have in your table of contents. And on my page 30, I'm also going to rewrite my title. And my date. So now that I have that set up, I'm going to put my notebook to the side as we go over part A. So in part A, we're comparing numbers written in standard notation. This is something we've been reviewing. We've been looking at scientific notation. We've been looking at exponential form, expanded form, and standard form. These numbers are written in standard form. So, Jake Hell, for number 1, which number did you choose to be the largest number? You can say the first or second one.
The first.
The first one. Do I get an agree? We all agree it's the first one? Did anyone choose the other one? Nope. All right. First one. Chaya, so for number 2, which number was larger?
The second one?
Second one. Do we all agree? Second one? Now, for 3 and 4, we're looking for the smallest numbers.
Can I just say one thing? I was taking a look at these decimals. Please pay attention, because I saw a lot of answers that will probably be corrected. Okay?
So for number 3 and 4, we're looking for the smallest numbers. Brian, what did you get for number 3? The first one? Alright, and I just realized, can you guys see that?
Fool, you sent them forward.
That might be a little bit easier. Sorry about that. And for number 4, William, what did you get for number 4?
The one on the right.
The one on the right is smaller.
Oh no, the left one.
The one on the left one is smaller.
Wow,
I need voices off. We're reviewing this.
you got it wrong.
So part A, we were looking at numbers written in standard form. When we're looking at numbers written in standard form, how did you guys determine what the biggest number was?
On which one? The largest one or the smallest one?
For the largest one, how did we determine what the largest number was, Franklin?
The zeros, which is meaning what, like, because when I count the zeros, I'm seeing what is the exponent. When I see up there, the place value, yeah.
The place value, excellent. Do we all agree that there was a place? Were we looking at place value when we looked at it in standard form? I should see everybody's like agreeing, like that's the only way we could tell which number is bigger is looking at place value. So, and we did the same thing looking for the smallest number, except you have to remember that because we're looking at decimals, decimals is like dividing. So, going to your notes, your first, when comparing, so we're actually, this first rule isn't for comparing scientific notation, it's just comparing standard form. When comparing numbers in standard form, we can look at the place value. All right, I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to finish that up. Did anyone have any other ways of figuring out which number was the largest or the smallest, or we all looked at the place value? Alright, I think we all looked at the place value. Alright, I'm moving to part B. Are you raising your hand?
Yeah.
Brian, what did you get for number 5? 9 times 10 to the power of 12. Did anybody get anything different? Did we all get 9 times 10 to the power of 12?
Yeah.
Franklin, what's number 6?
The first one.
The first one? Alright. Kevin A. What did you get for number 7? For number 7, I'm looking for the smallest number.
I got 2.75. The one with 15.
To the 15? To the negative 15? Okay. Now, I need everybody's hands. You have to choose one or the other. If you agree with Kevin, raise your hand. If you don't agree with Kevin, keep your hand down. All right, so I see Jay Keller agrees with Kevin.
About what?
Willie, are you agreeing with Kevin? I need to see hands
I'm
up.
in the middle.
Yeah.
No, I need like an up. This is yes or no at this point. All right.
I don't.
You agree?
11.
Willie agrees. So I have 3 people agree. So,
I do.
Jocelyn,
Yes.
did you choose A or B? Or the first number or the second number for number 7? You chose the second number. So you disagree with what Kevin came up with, right?
Second.
All right, so why did you say it was the second number instead of the first number? Because you got 17?
Negative 17.
Negative 17. But what about negative 17 is smaller than negative 15?
Yeah, negative 17 is smaller.
It is.
I see what you're... I understand the logic where you're going with that, but I'm not sure that I'm going to agree with that wording. Because, Miss Hybrid,
Well, I'm right though, right?
would you?
Yes.
Negative 17 is smaller than negative 15.
Yeah, I think you can compare it that way.
All right, we could compare it that way. So, Jocelyn is right. So, it's negative 17 is smaller than negative 15. And for number 8, Xavier, what did you got for number 8?
Number 8, I got 9 10 to the negative 35 power.
That's correct. So, looking at part B, how were our numbers written? Uriel. Uriel. How are numbers written in part B?
Turn your voice on.
In scientific notation. So when I'm comparing numbers written in scientific notation, what can I look at to determine whether a number is bigger or smaller? Brian, I can look at the exponent, and I can look whether or not my exponent is bigger or smaller. I see Chai Esso really agreeing on that one. So we're going to go back to our notes, and we're going to add it. We're going to go back to our notes, and we're going to add into that. So number 2 is.
Keep it up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me.
If you zoom in, you zoom in.
Oh wow, that went too far.
I'm pretty zoomed in. But we can zoom in a little bit.
Are you better?
All right. When comparing numbers in scientific notation, we can identify the smaller or larger power of 10. So now I know that I believe some of you were able to identify based on power of 10, but was there anybody who used another method to figure out which one of these numbers were bigger? Did anybody actually write out from scientific notation into standard form to figure out which one was bigger? No? Why wouldn't we want to do that?
We haven't seen the little thing.
I'm sorry, I had two people talking at once. Can I have a strong, silent hand to tell me, why wouldn't I want to write this out in scientific notation? Uriel. Can you speak up?
They just need the notes raised.
Oh, sorry. All right, why wouldn't I want to write these numbers out in scientific notation? Franklin, why would I want to write some of these numbers out in scientific notation?
So you know what to multiply it. So you know how to. I don't know. For me, I'm just saying. Not add all the zeros. Or multiply the zeros or add.
That's right. I think Franklin gave a great explanation. The reason why I want to look at the powers of 10 and I'm comparing numbers like this is because on some of these questions, I would have to write a lot of zeros. Do you guys have time to write out 35 zeros?
I don't.
Remember, mathematicians are lazy. I don't want to write out 35 zeros, and I don't want you to either. That's a waste of time. So, here's an example.
It's not an example.
So remember, like, is greater than, and this is going to be a review. Remember, our greater than, less than signs is greater than 3 times 10 to the 11th power because our exponent is bigger. So going over part C, I'm going to do these quick because I'm going to give the answers for these. So for number 9, my first number is going to be bigger. For number 10, my second number is going to be bigger. For number 11, my second number is going to be smaller. And then for number 12, my first number is going to be smaller. If you did not get it right, please mark it on your paper. So part C was different from part B because who noticed what the difference was from part B to part C? TJ, what was different from... You can try. What was different about part C from part B? We're on part C now. Willie?
They use exponents.
But I used exponents in part B.
So we're comparing part B and part C or seeing the difference?
Alright, so in part B, my exponents were different. So I was able to tell which number was larger based on the place value. In part C, my exponents were the same, which means instead of comparing place value through exponents, I had to look at the leading digits to see which number was bigger or which number was smaller. So that's going to bring us to our third rule. So when numbers written in scientific notation have the same power of 10, compare the leading digits. I'm going to leave that for you guys to copy. Actually, and let's do an example. And then I'm actually going to ask you to tell me which one is greater, which one is bigger. Based on the examples that we wrote, which number is greater? Is it the first one or the second one?
First.
It's the first one. So which way would my sign go?
To the left.
Would it go, well, actually, let me draw them out. Would it go like this or that?
First to the one, the first one, the one that's on our left.
The first one, it's greater than. All right. Okay, so now that you're if you haven't finished copying it down, go ahead and copy it down. I'm going to be handing out the classwork. There are 4 exercises on the classwork. I want you to try and get through as much of it as possible.
I got gas. I mean, I got the blue.
You can work in partners. You can work at your tables at a level 1 volume. I need voices off and eyes tracking me right now. Voices off.
That's right there.
So these problems, I need eyes tracking me and voices off. I'm about to. So these, TJ,
I'm going to check it out. Thank you.
Mario.
3, 2, 1. Show 5. Back to Miss Ikematsu. She's giving you directions.
These, I noticed in first period that these problems are a little bit, not tricky, but they do take some attention. You must pay attention and read the problems thoroughly. So, and underline keywords. I'm going to read number 1 through really quickly. The Formax dwarf galaxy is 4.16 times 10 to the 5th power light years away from Earth, while Andromeda 1 is 2.430 times 10 to the 6th light years away from Earth. Which is closer to Earth? When I'm asking for which one is closer, what number am I looking for? Am I looking for a number that is bigger or smaller?
Bigger?
Smaller.
Who agrees with smaller?
Me.
I see 2, 3.
I need to why it should be smaller.
Smaller. Closer means the distance is shortened. I want you to do that, and let's get started. You guys can be working at level 1. We will be coming around checking your work. Yes, we are going to work for the next 7 minutes at a level 1 volume with our group partners at our table.
Okay.
Just another side note, we are also in 8th grade, so we're going to be answering these questions in complete sentences.
Well, if I'm asking something that's closer, we just talked about this all together. Are you looking for the bigger number or the smaller number? If you want to know which one is closer to there.
Would that be a short?
2 feet away from you. 5 feet away from you.
I would say,
Isn't that a smaller number? You need to find the smaller number to figure out which one is closer. Can you find it? Give us
the 4 next door galaxy.
Alright, so write a sentence. Which one is smaller?
Yeah. Because look at the exponent.
So look at your numbers.
It's 5. It's less. So that's less. We're looking.
Okay,
So 4 next
for which one is closer.
I'll jump into it.
As a long
door.
So do you want me to say this?
So, how left one is correct, but tell us which one is closer. Because the question says it has a longer life.
Dwarf Mamba.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The dwarf galaxy is closer.
Yes, closer.
So you don't have to
Two first.
No, that's right. Yeah.
We'll put because or no?
Yeah,
No.
this one.
Keep looking. Okay. So that's one. That one is which one?
The four next.
Yeah, average by time
So write that as a sentence and move on. Okay, is this one closer? Let's check this. Are you looking for the smaller number or the larger number?
No, doors are
I'm trying to find the one that's closer.
the milky way.
Are you looking for a smaller number or a larger number?
Why you missed?
Which one of those numbers is smaller?
We gotta do number two?
Jacob, for number one, you should have shown you where.
I'm not sure if I made it clear, but we're working through as much of the paper as we can possibly get through.
So Jacob, just based on these numbers, which one would have to be closer to her? Okay, that's all you need to say. Answer your question in complete sentence.
I'm about to take a
And
big
the average length of the next group.
That's right, yeah, that's so much
Well,
going
times 10 to the negative 17 to the negative 17 power six. I have to explain which subatomic particle is
William, why are you up?
This is not a longer average. So I would say
Marianne, let's get started on practice. Marianne. Your goal is to do at least.
the number average.
I don't know how to do it. That's how it left home.
The average lifetime of a dog is
No, I'm not talking about
6
Alright, I love this. This is great, but I also need I need you to keep moving on this number. What's up with that? You go to the bathroom, so morning you I'm handing out.
Where's our menu?
Morning you that I'm about to give out exercise.
Here's right there.
Huh? Your number two?
He did like you.
I'm about to say your best girl.
Oh yeah, it is.
Milo, you play too much.
All right, we have.
Oh, that's messed up.
The bed is about 6.5 times.
That's right.
So we have a TJ. At this point, if you are not if you are not near the end of exercise 2 yet, you should be moving. This is exactly what we did in class start. You have 3 minutes left before I'm handing out the exit ticket.
The exit ticket class about to be over that fast?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I was daydreaming.
Your voice should be off unless you're having math conversations with your small group.
My throat is hurting so bad.
Is that right?
All right, we're at 2 minutes. I have some people at this point. You should be on exercise number 3.
I'm gonna get water, so that doesn't have fast me.
It's like
I'm excited to go to here. Alright, work.
You want to eat it?
No, she did.
Do a little harder.
Let me get your homework, sorry.
bye, buddy.
I said she can do it.
So
One, two.
I'm doing on my exercise right now.
Oh, you ready?
You
leave it?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
exercise 3. Come on, let's get to exercise 3. You have 1 minute left.
Well.
Yeah, earning this muscle. Oh,
How easy is this?
Do a little harder.
Yeah, because she knows.
Subtract.
How come I heard from you? How did you get it?
Who?
Why don't you just start by expanding? That will show us that one.
I don't know this one.
Alright, using standard.
Which one?
Our division. So we put the sun
Oh.
was bigger.
More
And ours is smaller. Well, one was bigger because we have a bigger X.
This contagious.
So if something's bigger, I want to know how many pieces of this can I fit in? What operation? All right, at this point, time is up for the classwork. I need 5 eyes tracking me in 4, voices on in 3, 2, 1. At this point, we're wasting time. 1, the longer I have to hold it. William, sorry, William. I'm going to do exit tickets. Voices are off during exit tickets. You can use your notes, you can use your classwork, but you cannot use each other. Exit tickets are off. We're going to take the next 6 minutes to complete our exit tickets silently and independently. We are using our notes, our classwork. Don't keep it. Using our notes, our classwork, but not each other. At this point, if I know you're talking, I'm getting your exit ticket, and you're getting a lunch detention. We have 6 minutes on the clock.
For part A, make sure you're explaining based on the number, not just science knowledge. That's okay. That was just a 2-minute warning. We have about 5 minutes left. Voice is off. Thank you. ICDG modeling SMP1, which is persevering through problems. If you finish, start your homework, but do not talk. Make sure your voice stays off. Justin, level 0.
Yeah.
Malaysia, and you voice off.
Alright. Alright.
If you're done with your exit ticket at this point, you can pack up and stay
Down.
seated.
Sit down, bro.
Stay seated. Uriel and TJ's table can stand up. You're dismissed, pushing your chairs.
What supposed to do my exit ticket?
Hand it to me here. Brian Steve's table, you guys are dismissed.
When I dismiss you, Miss Ikematsu will take you if you have your exit ticket still. All right. DG, you guys go. Push your chairs in. Stand up, push your chairs in. Will, you guys, you finished?
Yeah, for what?
It feels to me. It wouldn't mean to eat it. No. It feels to me to eat you. Maybe.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
Figured it out.
Dude, you're just gonna sound right.
Thank you.